I know going through menopause and perimenopause, all these sorts of things can affect us as we're getting older. I've had multiple discussions on this. But it affects women uniquely in a different way, and particularly when it comes to your health and performance, needing that energy, because you don't just need it just to be fit and healthy. You need it to be able to keep going in your business, because you can easily get fatigue, burnout, and just feel demotivated and overwhelmed with everything.
Absolutely. I think perimenopause is hard for a lot of people. I feel like it's particularly hard for what I call these, type A, and I'm, including myself in this, these type A kind of high achiever women, because these are women who, I've got clients who are judges, CEOs of 6-figure businesses, lawyers, like, or, super, super smart women, super competent women, and they're, performing at this really high level every day in their businesses and their lives. And then all of a sudden they've forgotten how to reverse their car, because this is how perimenopause affects your brain sometimes. And it can be really hard, because you're going from being this high achiever to suddenly not being able to do the most basic of things, and also this kind of change of identity as well. And I know for what happened in particular with my perimenopause is I'd never really had anxiety before, and I got the worst anxiety to the point where I couldn't go to the shop I didn't want to go outside to the shop on my own. I felt like I was becoming invisible. I felt like I was becoming slowly rubbed out, like a pencil drawing. Like I wasn't, my daughter's grown up, like she doesn't need me anymore. Like what's the point in my life? It was really awful. And that's hard for anyone, but it's particularly hard for women who are used to being super competent or always seen as the one in charge. And I think that the other point that, that with those kind of women is they're not just being CEOs of 6-figure businesses. They are, organizing their family's social life. They're looking after aging parents. They're helping teenagers through GCSEs. They're the person who knows that this kid's, needs new school shoes because they've grown out of them. And this kid needs to go to the dentist at 3:00. And like all of this stuff, and the perimenopause, and then the separate, which I think people don't separate out, is you've got symptoms from perimenopause, but you've also got symptoms of aging, which are separate to perimenopause as well. So there's so much stuff going on. And I feel like people start to feel like they're irrelevant or they're invisible, which is why I'm very keen with my coaching and with everything I do to say to people, you can still do extraordinary things. You can. And I know it feels like you can't, and you feel like maybe parts of your life are over, but that's not true. I mean, how I got through my perimenopause was, I've had this like horrible anxiety that I wasn't going to get any fitter, any stronger. I wasn't going to do anything extraordinary. I wasn't going to, meet new people and do new things. So I decided to do 15 ultra marathons in a year.
Wow. That is one way to take the bull by the horns.
It was just, when you just get crazy. I felt like, I am a bit of an extreme person, but I just felt like there has to be an extreme stimulus to shock you out of this, whatever this is. And just to prove to myself and to other people that, age, I firmly believe that aging appropriately is a choice, and it is about mindset, and it is about challenging yourself and continuing to be outside of your comfort zone. Because as soon as you start staying in your comfort zone, which is really easy when you get older because you're a little bit more cautious and things are not maybe working as they used to. But I feel like that is the beginning of your decline as soon as you start to live inside your comfort zone.
I think you're really right. And it actually goes back to the point we were saying about we're influenced by other people, whether it's your grandmother, your mother, people, your friends, people at work telling you, oh, no, you're too old for this, or you should be giving up on that, making a fool of yourself, or women of your age, and, all these kind of narratives. And you get to that age and you start subconsciously thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Yeah. But in fact, like you say, once you break through that and you take that step and decide to do something that maybe for you is a bit extreme, or it's not, somebody doesn't have to go and do 15 ultra marathons, but personal to them that makes them really go beyond what they thought was possible. Once they've done that, then you feel this great energy and this, I can do anything. I don't have to be held back because of my age. Age is just a number. Obviously, there are factors you have to take into consideration, and some things you may need support and guidance and help. But it's worth even taking those steps to explore it and see what is possible. What could I do? And I think that's really important.
It is, absolutely. And also, you're right in saying that's particular to you. I've got people in Root Health Club who, like, some of them have done an Ironman, right? But some of them have also committed to doing a 5K walk in the morning before they go to work, or they've committed to, just being able to do some mobility stuff. So whatever it is for them, but as part of what we do, we also arrange like in-person meetups and things. So I try and gently nudge people and say, hey, we're doing one on the 4th of September. Actually, we're going to walk. I live in Bournemouth, out on the Jurassic Coast, which is lovely. So we're going to walk from Branksome to Old Harry Rocks, which is an 11K walk. It's fairly flat, but for some people, that's going to be outside of their comfort zone. But we're going to come together and do it. No one's going to get left behind. We're all going to go at the same pace. So I want to give people the opportunity to do these things. I did it when I did the 15 ultra marathons. The last one was actually a 25K walk through London on Halloween. And you weren't allowed to do any running or anything because it was in London. So I encouraged, they would say forced, 2 of my one-to-one clients to do it with me, because they're like, I've never walked 25K in my life. And I was like, it's going to be fine. And, 2 months before, I gave them both a little walking plan so they could, slowly increase their distance. But they'd only have, by the time we did the walk, the furthest they'd walked, it was 15 kilometers, but they both did it on the day. So I just want to have a nice, safe space to create opportunities for people to do whatever is outside of their comfort zone, with the encouragement of lots of women who feel exactly the same as them.